Welcome and thank you all for joining us here today. We're excited for this announcement that has been a long time in the making, that we've been working on for quite some time, that as you can see has involved a whole lot of partners working together. It's uplifting to be surrounded by many partners who stand together, united in support of members of our immigrant and refugee communities. We know that this work is important today as much as ever, as we continue to see xenophobia, as we continue to see hatred around the country and around the world, and our ability to stand together, united, I think means an enormous amount for very many of our community members. At a moment when our entire community, nation, and world are still facing immense challenges from this pandemic, it's critical that we continue to engage in rebuilding with everyone in our city and making sure that we all have access to support, to services and resources to get through this pandemic to the other side. This remains more critical than ever when it's so easy to feel like every time we watch the news or log on to social media that there are so many challenges that all of our communities are facing. On top of the lasting challenges of the public health and economic crisis, vaccinations continue to be a polarizing issue for far too many across our country. We experience a national reckoning on race and racism, a deeply troubling and persistent rise of hate, extremism, and disinformation, and a national division unlike anything in our lifetimes, fueled by those who would seek to further divide us. In recent weeks, we've watched events unfold in Afghanistan that served as a horrible reminder of the trauma that forced so many of our community elders and ancestors to flee from their homelands to seek refuge in St. Paul for generations. Right here in our community, we also endured just last week the vandalism against our Hmong Cultural Center Museum, an act of destruction that proved no match for the engagement of our community who rallied in support of this critical community institution. As disheartening as these experiences are, St. Paul's resilience can be found across our diverse community, and that remains one of our greatest strengths. This strength is built upon our history. It's dating back to the earliest days of the city of St. Paul as we welcomed immigrants from Europe. We carry this tradition forward to this day as we've continued to welcome immigrants and refugees from across the globe, including Southeast and South Asia, East Africa, Central and South America, now Afghanistan, and many more. As we reflect on this history and the rich diversity of our community, it's fitting that we have come together today as we mark the start of National Hispanic Heritage Month and continue to celebrate Welcoming Week alongside communities who share our commitment to building an inclusive community that is welcoming to everyone, including immigrants, refugees, and all those who have been systematically excluded. Still, as we celebrate our Hmong, Vietnamese, Latino, Oromo, Somali, and other rich and diverse communities, we know that far too many new Americans in our city and communities across the country face daunting challenges. Today, alongside a broad coalition of partners, we are announcing expanded efforts to support immigrants and refugees in St. Paul. We will continue to invest in our Immigrant Legal Defense Fund with a reinvestment there to support residents who do not have legal representation, who are detained and face removal and face financial hardship. We're launching today our new American Loan Program to provide no interest loans for residents to cover the cost of fees for naturalization and other immigration benefits from the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. As a part of the new American Economy and Welcoming America's Gateways for Growth program, alongside our St. Paul Chamber of Commerce, we have new research that demonstrates the enormous contributions of immigrants and refugees that will inform and support our ongoing efforts. While our work to create and sustain a welcoming and inclusive community with our partners continues, these expanded efforts stand to ensure we continue moving forward together in rebuilding with our entire community. Thank you very much. I'd like to welcome Ramsey County Board Chair Toni Carter.
Thank you very much. Thank you so very much. It's a pleasure to be here representing the Ramsey County Board of Commissioners and Ramsey County, and with this coalition of community partners to celebrate this announcement of the City of St. Paul. We have, since 2019, worked with the City of St. Paul to create a $250,000 immigration legal defense fund through a joint powers agreement with the city and with a matching grant from the Vera Institute of Justice. And through this fund, a collaborative of immigration legal service providers have offered representation to residents who earn less than 200% of poverty guidelines and who are facing deportation. The legal service providers that we are working with include Immigrant Law Center of Minnesota and Minnesota Legal Aid and Advocates for Human Rights. Key information about the work that we have done is that the providers have conducted virtual intakes and consultations for 242 individuals, and they have represented 25 clients, with many cases still in process, which helps, of course, to level the playing field for immigrants who otherwise would have been going to court alone. 92% of those representatives have been St. Paul residents. And on an average, those clients have lived in the country for 16 years. Collectively, Ramsey County and St. Paul clients are parents to 25 children who are under the age of 18 and living in the United States, almost all of whom are United States citizens. 55% of the clients with families are breadwinners, supporting and responsible for at least half their family's income. We continue to partner with the City of St. Paul, with the immigrant legal service providers, and with the Vera Institute for Justice, and with a commitment toward sustaining funding. The actions we are taking are in alignment with our Ramsey County vision, mission, and goals, and they particularly align with our goal of strengthening family health, safety, and well-being. I'd like to share that in addition to the Immigration Legal Defense Fund, we are also working in wraparound services to support those individuals who may be enduring deportation during the time of that trial. We have been working with over 17 community-based organizations in this work, and so far we've been working to better understand the needs of immigrants and refugees in Ramsey County, to understand emerging immigration issues that directly impact these communities, to offer free legal clinics, and to increase knowledge of resources that are supporting pathways to citizenship, to increase awareness and referrals to free services provided through our Immigration Legal Defense Fund, and to connect county residents to services and programs designed to meet their basic needs. A few reflections from our partners include that residents know when they have an organization they can go to help navigate services and to ensure the availability of adequate language services and to advocate on their behalf, then residents gain more understanding. They gain a sense of empowerment and a support system to support their security. One client, it is said, was too worried to call Ramsey County, to call the worker, to inquire about supplemental nutrition assistance programs, and they were assisted to help ensure that they were back on SNAP. When living with the threat of deportation, it is hard for clients to know where to ask questions, to know what services are available to them, and to know what it is safe to do. Once again, we appreciate being here to support the announcement today. We are thankful for and committed to the partnership moving forward. And next on the agenda is B. Kyle, representing Gateways for Growth. Thank you, B.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity to join you here this afternoon, Mayor Carter. I represent the St. Paul Area Chamber of Commerce. We consider this a tremendous opportunity to partner with the city on behalf of new Americans and particularly the Gateway for Growth initiative. Here's what we know. Immigrants are important to our state, to our region, and to our economy. In raw numbers, over 60,000 immigrants call St. Paul home. In 2019 alone, their economic contribution represented $1.3 billion, and that number is growing. It is our charge and our opportunity to ensure that every new American has the opportunity to thrive and grow here. And we are very committed to partnering to make that happen. Thank you. I'd like to introduce the City Attorney, Lyndsey Olson.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lyndsey Olson, the City Attorney for the City of St. Paul. I'm honored to stand here with the Mayor, Chair Carter, City staff, and our community partners who share our commitment in supporting new Americans in our city. Over the past several years, we've continued working to re-envision how the City Attorney's Office can serve our community in alignment with our pursuit of realizing lasting equity, justice, and prosperity. These efforts have included new approaches to serving our community, such as our Ethos program, based in restorative justice, and forthcoming work on the Office of Neighborhood Safety. This work has also included expanding our office with dedicated time and resources through our Welcoming St. Paul program, led by Assistant City Attorney Edmundo Lijo, who you'll hear from a little bit later, to support our immigrants and refugees in St. Paul. At a time when we have incredible opportunity to continue to engage in new practices that are responsive to the needs of our community, these expanded efforts announced today will help us further our vision of a welcoming and inclusive community for all our residents. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm followed by Joel Swanson, who is our partner over at Affinity.
Hi, my name is Joel Swanson, and I'm Vice President of Marketing at Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union. Our CEO, Dave Larson, was unable to join us today. So on behalf of him, our board, and our entire employee base, I'd like to thank Mayor Carter, Ramsey County Board Chair Toni Carter, and the City of St. Paul Attorney's Office for the opportunity to partner in this very unique program, of which there's only a couple of others in the country like it. We're headquartered here in St. Paul, and we know that our residents who are seeking immigration and naturalization services face an array of barriers. Finances shouldn't be one of them, frankly. And so the New American Loan Program addresses that specifically by providing zero interest loans to people seeking those services to pay for the fees related to immigration and naturalization services, up to $2,000 at a loan. And we're very excited about the program. In addition to the loan itself, we're excited to make sure residents who have this loan leverage financial services, resources, and other education in building their financial stability in the community. In fact, we had an employee reached out to us just this week to let us know that she was so excited about this program because it would have helped her and her family when they came. So there's already excitement building within our organization. It launches Monday, so the loans are available as of Monday the 20th. And we're thrilled to engage in this partnership and see the impact it can make in the community. So thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. My name is Edmundo Lijo. I am an assistant city attorney, and I lead the Welcome St. Paul Immigrant Refugee Affairs program for the city. Welcoming St. Paul encompasses the city's efforts to ensure St. Paul continues to be a welcoming place for all residents, including immigrants and refugees. While the St. Paul City Attorney's Office does not represent individuals, we do provide legal guidance to residents through the Welcoming St. Paul program, which engages in facilitating the successful integration of immigrants and refugees into St. Paul's civic and economic life. We advocate on behalf of immigrants and refugees communities in St. Paul to ensure justice and equity for all city residents. And we promote a citywide culture that understands and values the benefits, including economic benefits, which all members of our society receive when immigrants and refugee communities are successfully integrated into our civic, economic, and cultural life. Additionally, the Welcoming St. Paul program supports our immigrant and refugee communities by supporting access to tools and resources to help residents navigate the ever-changing immigration laws and policies that affect their daily lives. This includes developing programs designed to support and empower our immigrant refugee communities and provide resources to inform and educate individuals that they can more easily protect and exercise those rights. That's evident in the legal defense program we've created in partnership with Ramsey County, as well as this loan program, which is going to be launched today. Today's announcement of these expanded efforts would not have been possible without the vast network of partners who are here behind me, here in our community and from across the country. It is incredible that there are so many who stand together to support immigrants and refugees, and it is this spirit of unity that we plan to carry forward together in our ongoing pursuit to support new Americans in our entire community. I don't know if Davu is here. Okay. Well, I think at this point we would open for questions.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you all again for being here. Thank you for this incredible partnership. You know, I want to just say an enormous thank you to our partners at the county for being a partner in this work since the beginning. The Immigrant Law Center, CLUES, Vietnamese Social Services, all of our labor partners who have been a part of this, Isaiah, International Institute of Minnesota, certainly our city attorney and our Edmundo Lijo, who you heard from. You know, this whole thing has been about saying we're not afraid to reimagine the way our city services work. We're not afraid to reimagine the way City Hall works. And in fact, we have no other choice. Our city is redefining itself. We must redefine the way that we connect people to services and supports. This is about rejecting an old way of city building that centers around an economic development strategy that identifies potential externally and a public safety strategy that only identifies problems internally, and saying let's figure out ways to both invest in the unlimited potential of the residents, of the children, of the families, of the businesses of our community. Let's figure out ways to interrupt the cycles that keep good people in bad situations, and let's figure out ways to build our city forward. We're going to just continue betting on our residents, betting on our families, betting on our children, and this is a perfect example of how we can do that for the future. I want to thank all the folks who have been here. I want to thank all the partners who are involved in this, and I think we can take any questions. Oh, I'm sorry. We do have one more speaker who is here. Damu Vang is here that wanted to share a personal story with us. Are you ready? Fantastic. Come on up, please. Thank you. I apologize. Thank you, Damu.
May I start? Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Damu Vang. I'm 20 years old. I was born and raised in St. Paul, Minnesota. I'm also a graduate from City Academy, the oldest of 4 children, big brother, 3 sisters, and I'm also a community member impacted by harmful deportation policies as well. So to tell you a little bit about me, I'm at a phase in my life where... Oh, yeah. Okay. It's telling me I'm in a phase in my life where I'm supposed to focus on the next chapter and where to proceed with. But about 1 year ago is when I overheard my parents speaking about deportation, and that's when I learned my dad actually had a move order to Laos, which I thought I misunderstood the conversation at first. So I went to my parents to clarify exactly what I heard. And to my surprise, everything they spoke about was all true, in which I'm still in shock today and cannot even imagine a world without my dad not being at home. He has always given me these little life lectures about making good choices, learning from their mistakes, and how important it is for me to succeed. I thought it was those usual parent lectures that they always give at first, but with everything that's happening, I was finally able to realize the true meaning behind it all and grow and open my eyes to become a better person. My father made a mistake in 1996 when he was just 18 years of age. 18 years of age, when he was just 2 years younger than I am, and he has never gotten into any more trouble ever since. He came to the U.S. in 1978 with his family, including my grandfather, who was a young Hmong soldier who fought in a secret war led by General Vang Pao, which he fought on behalf of the Americans. Minnesota has been my father's home for nearly 40 years now, and he and my mother have been together for 26 years. He has raised me, my 3 siblings, and he even takes care of my grandparents. And that's when about last fall, my mother, she suffered from a stroke, and we have been struggling as she slowly recovers. It was devastating to think that things could get any worse with the thought of deportation that was always lingering over our minds at that time. Because my dad, he is a changed person who is trying to do the best he can to do everything that's possible to take care and support of his family. Because he keeps our family secure, he keeps our family intact. He is the foundation of our family. He is what holds us together. And without him, I know that we would have fallen apart. But fortunately, my dad's immigration was stopped due to his immigration attorney. And sorry. I was just scared. Yeah, but my dad's immigration attorney was finally stopped due to the Minnesota Law Institute, where it's supported by the state, the city, and the county, and their supporters. My dad has always tried to do his best for his family, because if he did not have the help that we have been receiving, he may never had gained an attorney, and he would have been deported. Because my dad, he is everything that I have to me, and without him, I'm not sure how far I could have gone. And to the help that I receive, I'd like to say thank you so much, and our family is so thankful for giving this opportunity to us to help us to grant my mother's wishes to finally be able to live as one family, a happy family in this great country. I'd like to say thank you all for giving me such a great opportunity to speak, and most of all, thank you for kindly for listening to my words. Thank you.
Well said. Thank you. Thank you, Damu. Very well said. I neglected to thank a very important partner of ours, and that's our St. Paul Area Chamber of Commerce, who've been a partner and who understand that this work is about building an economy that works for all of us, which will work for all of us. And so thank you for being here as well. We're happy to take questions. We are doubling down on our community, period. We started with College Savings Accounts initiative that starts every child born in our city with $50 in a college savings account. We started with raising the minimum wage, which has been critical to ensuring that no one who works full-time in our city is ever stuck living in poverty. We have launched a guaranteed income strategy in St. Paul. We've launched our Bridge Fund to provide emergency support to families and small businesses. Our goal is every chance that we eliminated late fees in our public libraries. Our goal has been all the way along, every chance we get, to double down on St. Paul residents, St. Paul families, especially those who have been forgotten, especially those who have been excluded, especially those who have been marginalized, and this is an extension of that strategy. We absolutely are a welcoming community. It's not that we want to be a welcoming community, it's who we are. St. Paul has always been a welcoming community for immigrants and refugees. We've been a welcoming community for immigrants and refugees from Eastern Europe. We've been a welcoming community for immigrants and refugees from Europe. We've been a welcoming community for immigrants and refugees from Asia and Africa. I posted on Facebook last week that St. Paul stands ready to welcome refugees from Afghanistan, and someone responded, "For the love of God, get all our problems in St. Paul solved first." And I couldn't help but respond, "For the love of which God?" I don't know any God. I don't know any major faith that teaches to wait until all of your problems are solved and turn away strangers at the door. Every major faith that I know of, every major faith that I've been to visit across our city has taught to open our doors to strangers, and that as we treat strangers in our midst, that's how we're treating one another, and that's our impact on the world. That's who we are as St. Paul. We've always been a city that's been open to redefining and reinventing ourselves, and that welcome, that inviting culture that we have will absolutely not stop today. Other thoughts, questions? We're excited about the ability to leverage city resources. We very much appreciate Affinity Plus for stepping forward as a partner. We're leveraging a relatively small amount of city resources to unlock unlimited amount of private resources to help residents in our community access citizenship services. We know that when immigrants become naturalized, their ability to participate in our community, their ability to participate in our economy, their ability to contribute to our city increases tremendously, and we are looking forward to continuing to build our economy, not by luring folks in town from out of town, but by ensuring that we double down and always invest in and bet on the unlimited potential of our neighbors. We're excited about this announcement, and I just want to thank again all of our partners who are gathered here today to make this announcement with us. Thank you very much.